In the spotlight tonight is Michael Caine from Stainton, a retired chemist. His specialist subject is the life and reign of King Charles II. Daniel Blackburn from London, a journalist. His is the Conservative government of John Major. Alan Cook from West Lothian, an actuary, and his subject is the life and work of Albert Einstein. And Andrew Lyman from Castleford, an assessor whose subject is The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Hello, I'm John Humphreys and welcome to the second semi-final of Mastermind. Each of the four contenders with us tonight has already won an opening round, and whoever wins tonight will go through to the finals and the chance of becoming the Mastermind champion. To get there, they'll have to perform well under the pressure of the clock. 2 minutes only on their chosen subject and 2 minutes on general knowledge. It is as simple as that. So let's have our first contender, please. And your name is?
Michael Caine.
And your occupation?
Retired chemist.
Your previous chosen subject was the life and music of Buddy Holly. Tonight you have chosen?
The life and reign of King Charles II.
In 2 minutes, starting now. Which Bishop of London and future Archbishop of Canterbury baptised Charles in 1630?
Lord.
Correct. In which city did the marriage of Charles to Catherine of Braganza take place in 1662?
Portsmouth.
It was. Using it as a base when visiting Newmarket, which house did Charles buy from the Earl of Suffolk for £50,000?
Maidens.
Audley End. Which Flemish engraver designed various coins for Charles, including the Breda medal featuring Francis Stewart as Britannia?
Jan Rotiers.
Correct. What is the name of the priest who received Charles into the Catholic Church on his deathbed?
Father Huddleston.
It was. What title was given to the royal official who prepared the shelled surface of the specially built alley on which Charles played Pall Mall?
Wren.
No, the King's Cockle Strewer. Which Act of 1679 is said to have entered the statute book only because, on its third reading in the House of Lords, the tellers reputedly counted one fat peer as 10?
Habeas corpus.
It was. Which of Charles's mistresses did Nell Gwynn call Squintabella because she had a cast in one eye?
Duchess of Portsmouth.
It was. By what title was Henry Bennet, a member of the cabal who served as Charles' Secretary of State, better known?
Buckingham.
Arlington. Which non-native birds have been resident at St James's Park since the reign of Charles, when a pair was given to the king by the Russian ambassador?
Ravens.
Pelicans. What was the name of the royalist soldier with whom Charles hid for many hours in an oak tree in Boscobel Wood during their escape after the Battle of Worcester?
Major Careless.
Yes. Which sport, which he played daily for many years, did Charles describe as his usual physic?
Pall Mall.
Tennis. Who, after gilding the royal image in his 1667 poem Annus Mirabilis, was appointed Poet Laureate the following year and royal historiographer 2 years later?
Dryden.
Yes. What was the name of the daughter of the Governor of Jersey with whom a 16-year-old Charles embarked on his first recorded love affair?
Margaret de Carteret.
Yes. On 23rd of October 1667, Charles laid the first stone to the first pillar of which new building in the City of London, I've started so I shall finish, that replaced the original burnt in the Great Fire?
St Paul's Cathedral.
Royal Exchange. You had no passes, Michael Caine. You have scored 9 points.
Thank you.
And our next contender, please. And your name is?
Daniel Blackburn.
Occupation?
Journalist.
Last time around, you chose the films of Sergio Leone as your specialist subject. Tonight, you're choosing?
The Conservative government of John Major in 1992 to 1997.
2 minutes, starting now. Who stood against John Major in the Conservative Party leadership election in July 1995?
John Redwood.
Correct. At the time of Black Wednesday in 1992, the currency speculator George Soros reputedly made $1 billion from the sterling crisis and earned the name the man who... what?
Pass.
What was the cabinet post held by Michael Portillo when he made his speech alleging that some foreign students bought their qualifications?
Employment Secretary.
No, Chief Secretary of the Treasury. Norman Lamont's remark, "Je ne regrette rien," was made at a press conference during which by-election campaign?
Pass.
David Mellor resigned as Heritage Secretary in 1992, due in part to his friendship with Mona Bowens, the daughter of a senior member of which organisation?
PLO.
Yes. In the Cash for Question scandal of 94, which publication revealed that MPs Graham Riddick and David Tredinnick had been paid by reporters posing as businessmen to ask questions in Parliament?
Sunday Times.
Yes. In which town did John Major make his Back to Basics speech in 1993?
Huntingdon.
Blackpool. Following Emma Nicholson's defection to the Liberal Democrats in December 95, which member for Bolton North East did the same the following year?
Peter Thurnham.
It was. In the Scott report into the Arms for Iraq affair, who was the law officer singled out for criticism along with William Waldegrave?
Nicholas Lyle.
Yes. Once John Major had created a committee to investigate standards in public life under Lord Nolan, who was appointed as the first parliamentary commissioner for standards?
Gordon Downey.
Yes. At which venue did John Major and Albert Reynolds begin their discussions on the 3rd of December 93, culminating in the Downing Street Declaration 12 days later?
Dublin Castle.
Yes. In the 97 election campaign, which Tory vice-chairman deviated from the party line to express Eurosceptic views and subsequently lost her seat?
Pass.
Which director of the prison service did Michael Howard fire in 1995 after a damning report into the state of British jails?
Pass.
At what rate initially did Norman Lamont introduce VAT on domestic fuel in his 93 budget that caused widespread anger?
17%.
8%. Which I started just, but I'll finish. Which new body did the Education Secretary John Patton appoint Sir Ron Deering to head in 1993?
Pass.
Well, I can tell you it was the School Curriculum and Assessment Authority, so that was one of your 5 passes. The other was Derek Lewis, was the director of the prison service. You remember it now, of course. Dame Angela Rumbold was the one who subsequently lost her seat after deviating from the party line. Norman Lamont made that remark during the Newbury campaign, Je ne regrette rien, and it was the man who broke the Bank of England. George Soros was dubbed. You had those 5 passes, Daniel Blackburn. You have 7 points. And our next contender, please. And your name is?
Alan Cook.
Your occupation?
Actuary.
The last time around, you chose the life and works of Ludwig Wittgenstein as your subject. Tonight, it is...
The Life and Works of Albert Einstein.
2 minutes, starting now. What was the name of the street in Ulm where Einstein was born?
Pass.
Who was the medical student who used to dine with the Einsteins and who lent the young Albert books on science and philosophy?
Max Talmud.
Yes. In which year, considered to be Einstein's annus mirabilis, did he complete his PhD thesis and publish 4 papers on diverse branches of physics in Annalen der Physik?
1905.
Yes. Einstein's theory of special relativity is based on 2 fundamental postulates. One is that the laws of physics are the same for all observers moving at constant velocity relative to one another. What is the other?
Constant speed of light.
Correct. With which country's royal family did Einstein develop a close friendship, having first met them in 1929?
Belgium.
Yes. Einstein's first 2 scientific papers, published in 1901 and 02, dealt principally with the nature of which forces?
Thermodynamics.
Intermolecular. Which award, the highest distinction of the German Physical Society, was presented to Einstein in 1929?
Frank Medal.
No, the Planck Medal. What did Einstein's father show to the 5-year-old Albert that, according to legend, set him on the road of scientific discovery?
A magnetic compass.
Yes, a pocket compass. From 1922 until his death in 55, Einstein tried to produce a unified field theory that would combine gravitation and which other force into a single set of equations?
Electromagnetism.
Correct. Who organised a conference in Brussels in October 1911 at which Einstein met many of the great names of the scientific community for the first time?
Solvay.
Yes. What was the title of the speech Einstein read to the German League of Human Rights in Berlin in the autumn of 1932?
Pass.
In October 33, Einstein boarded which liner at Southampton en route for the United States, never to return to Europe again?
The Westmoreland.
Westernland. Forming the basis of general relativity, which principle states that the laws of physics are the same in a uniformly accelerated reference frame as in a uniform gravitational field?
Covariance.
Equivalence. At which polytechnic did Einstein meet his first wife, Mileva Maric, when they were both students?
Zurich Polytechnic, the ETH.
It was indeed Zurich, the ETH. You had 2 passes there. The title of that speech was My Credo, and the name of the street in which he was born was Bahnhofstrasse. 2 passes, Alan Cook, 8 points. And our final contender, please. And your name is?
Andrew Lyman,
Your occupation?
assessor.
Last time you chose the Test cricket of Geoffrey Boycott. Tonight you are choosing...
The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
2 minutes, starting now. Which Magrathean specialised in the design of fjord coastlines and won a design award for Norway?
Slatty Bartfast.
Correct. Played by Stephen Moore in the radio series, who is Zaphod Beetlebrox's private brain care specialist?
Gag Halfront.
In So Long and Thanks for All the Fish, which Boston lady sees Arthur and Fenchurch flying naked when she looks out of the window of a Boeing 747?
Pass.
In Life, the Universe and Everything, what is the name of the award given at the annual Ursa Minor Alpha Recreational Illusions Institute Awards ceremony?
Pass.
Ford Prefect is humming the same note repeatedly, claiming it to be the first note of which Noel Coward song shortly before alien robots invade Lord's cricket ground?
Mad About the Boy.
Yes, what is the name of the super-intelligent shade of the colour blue which helped to build the Heart of Gold?
The Hulu.
Indeed. Which actor played Lintilla and her clones in the second radio series?
Rula Lenska.
Yes, when Douglas Adams was struggling to meet deadlines, John Lloyd was brought in to help him write the radio series, which was the first episode he co-wrote.
The Christmas episode.
No, Fit the Fifth. According to the radio series, how did Arthur Dent's only brother meet his unfortunate death?
Pass.
In Mostly Harmless, what is the name of the 10th planet lying beyond Pluto and nicknamed Rupert after an astronomer's parrot?
Persephone.
Yes, in So Long and Thanks for All the Fish, every single person in the galaxy has 2.4 legs and owns what, according to the findings of the mid-galactic census?
2.4 legs owns a skunk.
A hyena. Near which Austrian city was Douglas Adams in 1971 when it is said he conceived The Hitchhiker's Guide while lying drunk in a field?
Innsbruck.
Yes, in Restaurant at the End of the Universe, which settlement of Golgaf Rinshan hairdressers, telephone sanitizers and management consultants holds its 573rd annual colonisation meeting?
Pass.
The coarse faded blue robes and belts of which university were worn by Magic Thieves and Vroomfondle?
The Society of Philosophers.
The Crux one, whatever that might mean. Right, you had 4 passes, and that settlement was Fintel Woodle Wicks. Arthur Dent's only brother was nibbled to death by an okapi. Rory was the name of the Alpha Recreational Etc. Awards, and it was Mrs. Capelson who saw Arthur and Fenchurch flying naked. So, 4 passes, Andrew Lyman, 7 points. And that brings us to the end of our first round on specialist subjects, a very close round. Let's have a look at the scores. In 4th place with 7 points and 5 passes, Daniel Blackburn. 3rd place, 7 points and 4 passes, Andrew Lyman. 2nd place with 8 points, Alan Cook. In the lead at the moment with 9 points, Michael Caine. So we move on to round 2 now, the general knowledge round. If there's a tie at the end of this round, then the number of passes will be taken into account. And the contender with the fewest passes will be declared the winner. If there's still a tie on points, then there will be a 5-question playoff. So let's get on with the general knowledge round. And let me first ask Daniel Blackburn to join us again, if you would, please. And you've gone from the films of Sergio Leone to John Major. You weren't awfully impressed with John Major's government, I gather.
I think at the end, John Major he was always spun as being Honest John, the man from Brixton, and perhaps he was just a bit too normal to be able to do that job.
Yes, too normal. He did have a quite interesting life that we didn't know about until
he did, yes.
Much
this
later,
is
didn't
absolutely
we? Yeah.
true, and it casts us an interesting light on certainly on Back to Basics, which he
Yes.
always claimed wasn't a moral crusade, and yet, from what we can tell, he probably allowed some of his spin doctors to spin it that way, certainly.
So you scored 7 points with John Major. Let's see how you do with general knowledge. 2 minutes, starting now. Which Lennon and McCartney song opens, "Tried to see it my way, do I have to keep on talking till I can't go on"?
We can work it out.
Yes, which former judge who died at the age of 100 in March 1999 headed the inquiry into the Profumo affair?
Denham.
Denning. From a Cree Indian word meaning grease, what name is given to air-dried strips of meat pounded to a powder and mixed with melted fat and berries?
Pass.
Alberto Corda, who died in May 2001, took a celebrated photo of which revolutionary whom he called Guerrillero Heroico?
Che Guevara.
Correct. With the Cathedral Cave as its largest, which Welsh cave complex was discovered in 1912 on the River Llynfell?
Pass.
Now a tourist attraction. What's the name of the mock castle above the Tane Gorge in Devon, built by Sir Edwin Lutyens for millionaire store owner Sir Julius Drew?
Powderham Castle.
Drogo. The premiere for which film was held in Hawaii on the aircraft carrier John C. Stennis in 2001?
Pearl Harbor.
Yes. Mubarak, Nasser and Sadat are all stations on which capital city's metro system?
Egypt.
Specifically, which capital?
Cairo.
Correct. In November 95, former Soviet Foreign Minister Edward Shevardnadze became the first elected president of which republic?
Georgia.
Yes. Niels Bohlin invented which safety device fitted to Volvos in Scandinavia since 1959 and now used worldwide?
Airbag.
No, the three-point seat belt. What name is given to about 15,000 species of plants consisting of a symbiotic association of fungi and algae?
Mushrooms.
Lichen. What romantic term was used in a bakery to describe that part of the upper crust of a loaf which overhangs and touches another?
Pass.
What is the surname of the twin playwrights Peter and Anthony, whose plays include The Royal Hunt of the Sun and Sleuth, respectively?
Schaffer.
Yes. In which musical does Bloody Mary sing about the island of Bali High?
Pass.
Which foreign ruler stayed at the Deptford house with diarist John Evelyn when he visited England in 1698 as part of his grand embassy to Western Europe?
Louis XIV.
Peter the Great. You had 4 passes there. South Pacific was the musical in which Bali High was sung. Wonderful term for that bit of the bread. The upper crust that touches the lower bit is the kissing crust. And Danarogov are the caves in Wales that we were looking for. And that stuff that you get mixing air-dried strips of meat and all the rest of it is pemmican. So there we are. 4 passes. You had 7 points. Daniel Blackburn, you now have 13 points. And now Andrew Lyman, please. So, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, a bit different from Geoffrey Boycott the last time around. You're a great fan, presumably.
I am, yes. When you spend your formative years watching Boycott Bat, then you do need something to cheer you up later on.
So there is a link between the two then.
That's right.
It is a cult, isn't it, now?
Without a doubt, yeah. There are a number of people who, I say, are of my age that heard it first on the radio and then caught it with the book and the records and the TV programme, now the film, etc.
There's a film being made.
That's right, the film being made in Hollywood. Douglas Adams said on a number of occasions during his life that he sold the rights to a film, but obviously nothing came of it during his lifetime. But it appears to be well into production now.
7 points then on Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Let's see how you do with general knowledge. 2 minutes starting now. Who in 1993 became the first UK Grandmaster to qualify for a World Chess Championship match?
Nigel Short.
Yes. Which Australian writer who lived from 1912 to 1990 won the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1973?
Neville Shute.
Patrick White. The 400th anniversary of which historical event was celebrated in July 1988 by the lighting of many beacons across the United Kingdom?
Spanish Armada.
Yes. Which is the northernmost of South America's 3 major river systems, its tributaries including the Mavaca and Caroni?
The Orinoco.
Yes. On a wind instrument, what's the name of the thin piece of vegetable tissue or metal that is made to vibrate by means of air directed against it?
The reed.
Yes. What is defined by meteorologists as droplets of rain between 0.2 and 0.5 millimetres in diameter?
Drizzle.
Yes. What was the name of Troy Tempest's silent, green-haired female companion in the puppet series Stingray?
Marina.
Yes. Which English painter and writer on art became the first president of the Royal Academy in 1768?
Stubbs.
Reynolds. Which musical by Stanislav Stanger and Oscar Strauss was based on George Bernard Shaw's play Arms and the Man?
Pass.
Which star of gangster movies was born Emmanuel Goldenberg in Bucharest in 1893?
Edward G. Robinson.
Yes. Which breed of terrier, one of the few to have originated in the United States, was bred from the English Bulldog and a smooth-coated terrier?
Pass.
What is the meaning of the Russian word tovarishka?
Friend.
Conrad, yes. Which gate stands at the western end of the Unter der Linden in Berlin?
Brandenburg Gate.
Yes. Whose Symphony No. 2 in C minor, composed between 1888 and 1894, is known as the Resurrection?
Mahler.
Yes. Napoleon's favourite horse was named after which battle in 1800 in which Napoleon was victorious over the Austrians in northern Italy?
Marengo.
Yes. Which Brooklyn-born tennis player who died in September 1994 achieved his only Grand Slam success when he beat John Lloyd in the 1977 Australian Open?
Vitas Gavilitis.
Yes. How many chromosomes does a human being normally have?
23 pairs.
Yes. And you have shot up there. You had 2 passes. It's the Boston Terrier, that breed of terrier originating in the United States. And Chocolate Soldier was the musical based on Arms and the Man. But you had only 7 points. You now have 20 points. So, Alan Cook now, if he would, please. And you have gone from Wittgenstein to Einstein.
Yes.
You're clearly-
Anything ending in Stein.
Anything ending in Stein that's very clever as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was he the first celebrity scientist, if you can use that expression?
Well, I think he was. I mean, the media had already blossomed at the time Einstein was around, and he captured the imagination and all sorts of corrupt things that were on the press about light bending round corners and all sorts of things.
Of course, he looked the part.
And he looked the part. He had that look, didn't he? So he was quite... Everybody knows what Einstein... You see, I've even a vague picture of Einstein, you know who it is.
Well, 8 points. With that, the life and works of Albert Einstein. Let's see how you do on general knowledge, starting now. In the brewing industry, Fuggles and Goldings are types of what?
Hops.
Yes. In the Bible, which son of David revolted against his father and was killed after his head became entangled in an oak tree?
Absalom.
Yes. Which word particularly associated with Indian cuisine is derived from the Tamil for sauce?
Dal.
Curry. Which actor starred as playwright Joe Orton in the 1987 film Prick Up Your Ears?
Pass.
The ladybird belongs to which order of insects?
Beetles.
Yes. Which part of the body is also known as the mandible?
Jaw. Lower jaw.
Yes. What was the name of the US Army officer court-martialed for the massacre of civilians at My Lai during the Vietnam War?
Pass.
In Norse mythology, Balder, reckoned to be the most beautiful of the gods, was killed when a piece of which plant associated with winter was hurled at him?
Venus.
Mistletoe. John Barry's Hit or Miss was the theme music for which 60s television pop programme?
Ready, steady, go.
Jukebox Jury. Which 16th century Venetian artist was responsible for the vast series of biblically themed paintings for the Scuola di San Rocco?
Canaletto.
Tintoretto. Barabbas is the title character in which play by Christopher Marlowe?
The Jew of Malta.
Yes. In which sport, usually dominated by Canada and the Soviet Union, did Great Britain cause a major upset by winning the gold medal at the 1936 Winter Olympics?
Ice hockey.
Yes. Which Polish astronomer advanced the theory that the sun, rather than the Earth, was the centre of the solar system?
Copernicus.
Yes. The battle for which French fortified city, lasting from February to December 1916, was the longest and bloodiest of the First World War?
Verdun.
Yes. Which Irish politician was known as the Liberator?
Eamon de Valera.
Daniel O'Connell. Which British artist painting a grand procession of dignitaries in the semi-Egyptian style was auctioned in New York in May, I've started so I shall finish, in May 1989 for over £1 million? Take a guess at it, I have to push
Say
it.
Freud.
David Hockney. So, you had 2 passes. The name of that American Army officer court-martial for My Lai was Lieutenant Calley, and the actor who starred as Joe Orton was Gary Oldman. So, those 2 passes, you had 8 points, you now have 16 points. And now, Michael Caine, please. Well, now, you've gone from Buddy Holly to King Charles II. It's very hard to find a link there.
There is no link, really.
I don't think so. He's described as the comeback king, and that was because...
Well, he went into exile when he was 16. Then the Scots wooed him over to Scotland, where he said that England would become Presbyterian.
And then, having said that he'd turn England into a Presbyterian country, on his deathbed, he said, I'm a Catholic.
Yeah, his wife was Catholic and his brother was Catholic, his mother was Catholic, so there was quite a pull really for him.
Well, you were in the lead at the end of the first round with your 9 points, but 20 points is now the score to beat. Let's see if you can do it with your general knowledge. 2 minutes. The Reverend Elijah Craig is credited with inventing which type of whisky in Kentucky in 1789?
Bourbon,
Yes, meaning my messenger, what is the name of the last book of the Old Testament?
Malachi,
Yes, by what name is the Australian bird the kookaburra sometimes called because of its strange chuckling call?
Laughing Jackass,
Yes. Which film director's works include Stagecoach, The Searchers and The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance?
John Ford,
Yes. Which port on the Adriatic, now part of Italy, was established as free territory in 1947, with Britain and America controlling the northern part and Yugoslavia controlling the south?
Trieste,
Yes. William Bradford and Captain Miles Standish were among the most distinguished passengers on board which ship in 1620?
The Mayflower,
Yes. Which novel features Major Major, the squadron commander, who will only see people when he is out?
Catch-22,
Yes. Carpenter, weaver and pharaoh are all species of which insect?
Boll Weevil,
No, the ant. In feudal Japan, what name was given to the highly trained secret agents who carried out tasks prohibited by the samurai code?
Ninja,
Yes. What is the name of the ancient Inca fortress city situated about 50 miles northwest of Cusco in Peru, whose ruins were discovered in 1911 by the Yale University professor Hiram Bingham?
Pass,
Which main character from Shakespeare's The Merry Wives of Windsor also appears as a minor character in Henry IV Parts 1 and 2?
Falstaff,
Yes. What name is given to a pivoted catch engaging with a ratchet to prevent reverse motion?
Pass,
In which Bizet opera do Nadir and Zougar sing the duet Au fond du temple saint, which is used as a friendship theme?
Carmen,
No, the Pearl Fishers. Which American athlete won the men's 100 metres in the 1983, 87 and 91 World Athletics Championships?
Carl Lewis,
Yes. After which ancient Egyptian god of the sun and creation did the explorer Tor Heyerdahl name 2 papyrus boats?
Ra,
Yes. And with that final answer, you've taken your score to 20 points. You had 2 passes. The name given to a pivoted catch with that ratchet and all the rest of it is a Paul, and Machu Picchu is the name of the ancient Inca fortress city. 2 passes. Michael Caine, 20 points. Well, it doesn't get much tighter than that. At the end of the general knowledge round, let's have a look at the scores. 4th place with 13 points, Daniel Blackburn. 3rd place with 16 points, Alan Cook. 2nd place with 20 points and 6 passes, Andrew Lyman. 1st place with 20 points and 2 passes, Michael Caine. So that means obviously that Michael Caine is our 2nd semi-finalist to go through to the grand final. Congratulations to him and our thanks to the other semi-finalists. Please join us for our 3rd semi-final and more Masterminds. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
John Sargent's photographic road trip continues with a visit to more than just a windmill. Britain's first photo album is up next. After that, David Attenborough is here, tracking the astonishing life of mammals. 4:10 on BBC2.